You know, after 40 years on this bench, I thought I had seen every type of person walk through my courtroom doors. Rich people, poor people, angry people, scared people. But let me tell you something. Nothing quite prepares you for the kind of arrogance that comes with too much money and too little respect for others. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us share more stories about real justice. That Wednesday morning in March started like any other day. I got to the courthouse at 8:15 a.m., just like I have for the past 4 decades. My father taught me something important when I was young. He would say in his thick Italian accent, "Frank, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're already late." He worked 3 jobs to support our family: construction, night security, weekend shifts at the docks. He never had much money, but he had something more valuable. He had dignity. He had respect for others. And he taught me that respect costs nothing but means everything. So there I was, sitting in my chambers with Christina, my court clerk. She brought me my morning coffee, strong, black, the Italian way. We were going through the docket for the day: traffic violations, small claims, the usual Wednesday morning cases. Nothing unusual, nothing that would make the day memorable. But then Christina looked up from the papers and said, "Judge, there's something different about today's list." "What do you mean?" I asked, taking a sip of my coffee. She pointed to a name on the docket. Victoria Ashford-Bennett, multiple parking violations, expired registration, and she missed her first 2 court dates. This is her 3rd summons. Now, missing court dates is serious. It shows disrespect for the legal system. It shows you think the rules don't apply to you. And when I saw the address listed next to her name, I understood why Christina had that concerned look on her face. Ocean Drive. That's where the mansions are, the really expensive ones. "Well," I said, finishing my coffee, "let's see if she decides to show up today." Christina just shook her head. She's been working with me for 15 years. She knows when something feels off. And that morning, something definitely felt off. The morning session started at 9:30. The courtroom was about half full, which is normal for a Wednesday, working people taking time off from their jobs to deal with tickets and violations. I could see the stress on their faces. These court appearances cost them money, not just in fines, but in lost wages from missing work. The first case that morning was a woman named Maria Garcia. She was maybe 35 years old, wearing a worn but clean uniform from the hospital where she worked as a nursing assistant. She had her hands folded in front of her, and I could see she was nervous. "Ms. Garcia," I said, looking at her file, "you're here for a parking violation. You parked in a no-parking zone outside Providence General Hospital. Can you tell me what happened?" She spoke softly, with a slight accent. "Your Honor, I'm so sorry. My daughter, she had an asthma attack at school. They called me at work. I ran to my car and drove to the emergency room as fast as I could. When I got there, all the regular spots were full. My daughter couldn't breathe properly. I parked in the first spot I saw and ran inside with her." Her voice cracked a little when she talked about her daughter. I could see tears forming in her eyes, but she was trying hard to keep her composure. "Is your daughter okay now?" I asked. "Yes, Your Honor, thank you for asking. The doctors helped her. She's okay now." I looked at the fine. $75. For some people, that's nothing. For someone like Maria Garcia, working as a nursing assistant, probably supporting a family on a tight budget, that's real money. That's groceries. That's bills. "Ms. Garcia, I'm going to dismiss this ticket. You had a medical emergency with your child. That's what any parent would do. Case dismissed." The relief on her face was immediate. "Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. God bless you." She turned to leave, and that's when I heard it. A laugh. Not a friendly laugh, a mocking laugh. It came from the back of the courtroom. I looked up and saw a woman sitting in the gallery. Even from the bench I could tell everything about her: scream money, designer sunglasses pushed up on her head, a handbag that probably cost more than most people make in a month, perfectly manicured nails. And she was laughing at Maria Garcia. Maria heard it too. She glanced back, her face flushing with embarrassment, then quickly walked out of the courtroom. That laugh, that casual cruelty, it made my blood pressure rise. "Victoria Ashford-Bennett," my bailiff called out. The woman from the back stood up, She was wearing what looked like a designer suit. Everything about her posture said she didn't want to be there. She walked to the front of my courtroom like she was doing us all a favor just by showing up. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett," I began, "you're here for multiple parking violations, expired vehicle registration, and you've missed 2 previous court appearances. Do you understand why you're here?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she pulled out her phone and started checking it, in my courtroom, while I was speaking to her. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, I need you to put your phone away and pay attention to these proceedings." She looked up at me like I had just asked her to do something completely unreasonable. "I'm sorry, Judge. What was your name again? I'm in the middle of something important." In 40 years, I've had people forget my name. That's fine. But the way she said it with that dismissive tone, like my name wasn't important enough for her to remember, that was different. "I'm Judge Caprio, and right now, the most important thing you need to be doing is addressing the charges against you. Please put your phone away." She sighed dramatically and put her phone in her purse. "Fine. Look, I don't understand why I'm even here. These are just parking tickets. I'll pay whatever fine there is. Can we just hurry this up? I have a lunch appointment at noon. Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, you have 6 unpaid parking tickets totaling $840. You also have an expired vehicle registration that's been expired for 7 months, and you've missed 2 previous court dates. These aren't minor issues." She waved her hand dismissively. $800? That's nothing. I spend more than that on a pair of shoes. Just add it to my credit card, and we're done here. I felt my jaw tighten. $800 was nothing to her, but it was everything to someone like Maria Garcia. That's the problem with some wealthy people. They lose perspective. They forget that money has real meaning for most people. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, it's not just about the money. It's about following the law. When you ignore parking regulations, you're taking spaces from people who need them. When you don't register your vehicle, you're not paying your fair share for road maintenance. And when you skip court dates, you're showing disrespect for the legal system." She actually rolled her eyes. Right there in open court, she rolled her eyes at me. "Judge Caprio, was it? Let me explain something to you. I donate more money to this city in 1 year than most people make in 10 years. I sit on charity boards. I attend fundraisers. I think I've earned the right to park wherever I need to park. If I'm late to a meeting, I'm not going to waste time circling the block looking for a legal spot. Time is money, and my time is very valuable." The courtroom was completely silent. Everyone was watching to see what I would do. I could see the other people waiting for their cases, and I could see the anger on their faces. They were working people, people who followed the rules even when it was inconvenient. And here was this woman telling me she was above those rules because she had money. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, your charitable donations don't give you the right to break the law. Everyone in this city follows the same rules. There's no special parking pass for wealthy people." Her face changed. The fake politeness disappeared. Now I was seeing the real person underneath. "You know what? This is ridiculous. Do you know who my husband is? Do you know who our lawyers are? We know the mayor. We know the city council members. We have connections you couldn't even imagine. And you're sitting here lecturing me about parking tickets?" She turned around to address the courtroom, like she was performing for an audience. "I mean, look at the people in here. Look at that woman who was just up here crying about her daughter. She was talking about Maria Garcia. These are not the kind of people I should have to sit with. This is beneath me." That's when I knew this wasn't just about parking tickets. This was about something deeper. This was about a person who genuinely believed she was better than everyone else, better than Maria Garcia, better than every working person in that courtroom, maybe even better than me. I thought about my father. He cleaned office buildings at night so his kids could have a better life. He never looked down on anyone. He taught me that how you treat people who can't do anything for you shows your true character. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, turn around and face the bench, now." She turned back to me, but she wasn't done. "You know what I think, Judge? I think you're enjoying this. I think you enjoy pushing around people who are more successful than you. How much does a municipal judge make anyway? 60,000? 70? That's what I spend on handbags in a year." I took off my glasses. I don't do that often, but when I do, people who know me understand what it means. It means my patience is gone. It means we've crossed a line. "Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, you're now in contempt of court. Bailiff, please take her into custody. The shock on her face was instant. What? You can't be serious. Do you know what kind of trouble you're getting yourself into? But I was completely serious. You've shown complete disrespect for this court. You've mocked other defendants. You've suggested that wealth puts you above the law. You've insulted the dignity of every person in this room. Yes, Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, I'm very serious. My bailiff moved toward her. She backed away, looking around the courtroom like someone was going to save her. But nobody moved. The other people waiting for their cases just watched. Some of them looked satisfied. Some looked shocked. But nobody was coming to her rescue. This is insane. I'm calling my lawyer right now. She reached for her phone again. You'll have the opportunity to call your lawyer from holding. For the contempt charge, I'm sentencing you to 48 hours in the county jail. For the parking violations, the fine is now doubled to $1,600 due to your repeated failures to appear. For the expired registration, that's another $500 fine, and you will complete 80 hours of community service. Community service? Are you joking? I have a business to run. I have appointments. You have 80 hours of community service to complete. I'm assigning you to work at the Providence Community Food Bank. You'll be helping to feed the families in this city, the same families you just said were beneath you. The bailiff took her arm gently but firmly. She tried to pull away, but he held steady. Wait. You don't understand. I didn't mean, I was just... Look, I'll apologize, okay? I'm sorry. Now she wanted to apologize, after everything she said, after mocking Maria Garcia, after insulting everyone in the courtroom, after suggesting her money made her special. Now when she was facing real consequences, suddenly she was sorry. Mrs. Ashford-Bennett, apologies are meaningful when they come from genuine understanding, not from fear of punishment. Maybe after your 48 hours in jail and your community service, your apology will be more sincere. Bailiff, please proceed. As they led her toward the holding area, she turned back one more time. The designer suit that looked so perfect when she walked in was now wrinkled. Her perfect hair was falling out of place. The arrogant confidence was completely gone. This isn't over, she said, but her voice was weak now. Not a threat, just the words of someone who knows they've lost. After the bailiff took her away, I looked around my courtroom. Some people were smiling, some looked relieved. One older gentleman in the back actually started a small applause, but I held up my hand to stop it. This wasn't about celebration. This was about justice. This was about maintaining respect for the law and for other people. Let's take a 15-minute recess, I said. I needed a moment to collect myself. Christina met me in my chambers with a fresh cup of coffee. That was something else, Judge, she said quietly. Christina, in all my years, I've never enjoyed sending someone to jail. But that woman needed to understand that money doesn't make you better than other people. It doesn't put you above the law. And it certainly doesn't give you the right to mock a mother who was worried about her child. 3 days later, Maria Garcia came back to the courthouse. She found me during my lunch break. Judge Caprio, I wanted to thank you, she said. Not just for dismissing my ticket, but for what you did afterward. I heard what that woman said about me, about people like me. It hurt. But then you stood up for people like us. You showed that everyone matters in your courtroom, not just people with money. Her words hit me hard. That's what this job is really about. It's not about parking tickets or fines. It's about treating every person with dignity and respect, regardless of their bank account. A week later, I got a call from Patricia Rivera, who runs the Providence Community Food Bank. Judge Caprio, I wanted to update you on Victoria Ashford-Bennett. She showed up for her community service. She wasn't happy about it. She complained about everything at first, the hours, the work, having to interact with the families we serve. But something interesting happened. What happened? I asked. She met a woman named Rosa. Rosa's a single mother with 3 kids. She works 2 jobs but still needs help from the food bank to make ends meet. Rosa was so grateful for the food we gave her. She thanked Victoria like she was giving her $1 million. And I saw something change in Victoria's face, like she was seeing people clearly for the first time. 6 weeks later, Patricia called me again. Judge, Victoria finished her 80 hours. But here's the thing. She asked if she could keep volunteering. She's been coming in twice a week on her own time. She's been donating more than just money now. She's been donating her time, her attention. She's been listening to people's stories. 6 months after that courtroom incident, I received a letter. It was from Victoria Ashford-Bennett. I almost didn't open it. I thought it might be some kind of formal complaint, but Christina convinced me to read it. The letter read, "Dear Judge Caprio, 6 months ago, I was the most arrogant person in your courtroom. I thought my money made me special. I thought my wealth put me above the rules that applied to everyone else. I mocked a woman who was dealing with a sick child. I disrespected you, the court, and every person who was there that day. I was wrong about everything. Those 48 hours in jail were the most humbling of my life. But the real change came during my community service. I met people who have so little but give so much. People who work harder than I ever have. People who face challenges I never imagined. People with more grace and dignity in their struggles than I ever showed in my privilege. I'm still volunteering at the food bank. I've started a foundation to help working families with emergency expenses, medical bills, car repairs, things that can devastate a tight budget. I'm trying to use my resources to actually help people instead of just showing off my wealth. Thank you for not letting me get away with my behavior. Thank you for showing me that wealth without compassion is worthless. And thank you for treating that mother with such kindness. She deserved respect and you gave it to her. I should have done the same." With genuine gratitude and respect, Victoria Ashford-Bennett. I read that letter 3 times. Did I believe she was completely changed? Maybe, maybe not. People don't usually transform overnight, but the fact that she was trying, that she was learning, that she was using her resources to help instead of just to show off, that was something. You know what my father used to tell me? He'd say, "Frank, money can buy you many things. It can buy you a big house, a fancy car, expensive clothes, but it cannot buy you character. It cannot buy you respect. It cannot buy you the most important thing, the ability to see the humanity in other people." My father was right. Victoria Ashford-Bennett walked into my courtroom with thousands of dollars in her purse, but with no understanding of real value. She learned the hard way that respect isn't bought. It's earned through how you treat others, especially those who can't do anything for you. I still think about Maria Garcia sometimes. She was trying to save her daughter. She parked illegally because she had no choice. And even though she was stressed and scared, she came to court respectfully. She didn't make excuses. She didn't pretend the rules didn't apply to her. She just asked for understanding. That's dignity. That's real class. Not designer clothes or expensive cars. It's how you carry yourself when life is hard. It's how you treat others when you're struggling yourself. In my 40 years on this bench, I've learned that the courtroom is a great equalizer. Rich or poor, everyone stands before the same law. Everyone gets the same chance to show respect or disrespect, and everyone faces the same consequences when they choose disrespect. Victoria Ashford-Bennett thought her money would protect her. She thought her connections would get her special treatment. She thought she could laugh at working people and face no consequences. She was wrong on all counts. But here's the good news. She learned. She changed. She became a better person. Not everyone does. Some people go through life never understanding that wealth is a responsibility, not a free pass to treat others badly. The law applies to everyone equally. That's not just a saying. That's the foundation of everything we believe in as a society. The moment we start making exceptions for wealthy people, the moment we let money buy different treatment under the law, we lose something essential. We lose justice itself. So when someone like Victoria Ashford-Bennett walks into my courtroom thinking the rules don't apply to her, thinking her money makes her special, thinking she can disrespect hardworking people without consequences, that's when I remember why I do this job. I'm not here to make wealthy people feel bad about having money. I'm here to make sure everyone, rich, poor, or in between, understands that we all live under the same laws. We all owe each other basic respect and dignity, and we all face consequences when we forget that. I'm Frank Caprio. Remember, sometimes the best judgment is not in the book, it's in your heart. But respect for others, that should always be in both your heart and your actions. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories about justice and human dignity. God bless.